Hello, I'm Mr. McCullum, and I am your host for Forces, Motion, and Energy for this 9 weeks, as you may have already known. Today we're going to talk a little bit of something called Pascal's Principle. Can anybody tell me what that is? That's okay, because we're going to talk about it today. So today I'm going to show you some interesting aspects about Pascal's Principle involving something called hydraulic pressure. Now, many of you might be aware of hydraulic pressure and something called brake lines. Brake lines are found on our cars, our motorcycles, our ATVs, and many other things that we use, either a hand-propelled or a foot-propelled braking system. What happens? Well, inside these braking systems, we have little fluid lines. Yes, that's right. These lines are filled with fluids. Brake fluid, to be exact. It has a certain chemical composition, of course, designed to be compatible with extreme low temperatures and extreme high temperatures. What might happen if you put water inside of brake lines? It might freeze, right? It might cause the brake lines to bust open. And if you're going down the road, especially on an icy day, and you need to stop really fast, that's not a good thing. As we'll find out sometime in our lives, our brake lines actually apply a force through a fluid line. And the fluid line, whenever pressure is engaged into it, causes the little line to either engage or retract. And by pressing on one thing, that motion of energy is transferred to something else. So, how can we see this? Let me see if I can find you a diagram that best describes that. Now, according to the Saturn manufacturer, you have about 40 different points on a standard sedan car that uses fluid pressure in order to make the actual car possible. Such systems here include the heating and cooling system, the braking system, the engine propulsion mechanism, and to some extent even the electrical components of a car. Now, some of you might or might not be aware of the internal components of underneath the hood of a car, but if you were to open underneath the hood and actually look in a car, it's actually a very complex machine. We'll be getting to machines soon enough, but appreciate the perspective of fluid pressure underneath the hood of a car. So let's look at an animation of how brakes work, followed by how an engine works.
Of the two common braking systems used in automobiles, disc brakes and drum brakes, the disc system is the more reliable. Disc brakes work on the principle of applying friction to a rotating disc. The brake has three major elements: a cast iron disc that is attached to the wheel, brake pads on either side which apply friction, and a hydraulic piston that pushes each pad against the disc. When the brake pedal is stepped on, hydraulic fluid is forced from the master cylinder to the slave cylinders at each wheel. A hydraulic system is used because it delivers pressure equally to all wheels. The pressurized fluid pushes the slave pistons, which in turn push the brake pads against the rotating disc. The greater the pressure, the harder the pads rub, the faster the braking.
Now, to best show you pressure, the best way I thought I could show you is on an oversized garden tractor. Here we have a big John Deere tractor. Let's take a look at some of the parts that we're going to be using. Here we have all kinds of pressure line distribution systems and electrical lines, so to speak. In all these pieces, we have some type of pressure distribution where fluids are involved. I won't get into the complicated physics of the tractor, but I will start it up and I will show you some of the interesting things. Okay, so here's our John Deere tractor powered on. Notice the modifications that we have on this bugger right here. Okay, we have a custom snowplow, a very articulate exhaust. We also have a summer plow, which hasn't been removed for the winter, but that's fine because I'd like to show you how some of the stuff works. Okay, the take-home lesson is, okay, so we have a gear-driven shaft down here, okay? That's going to rotate to turn this plow down here. Okay, now there is some physics in the engine that allows that rotation to occur due to fluid pressure. Here's the control lever over here. Let me just get up on the tractor to be safe. But as I lower the lever, or I raise it up, the hydraulic hoist is raised and lowered. So here's the lever, it goes down. Notice that it comes crashing down, which is bad. You should never do that. But anyway, gently raise the lever and gently lower the lever. Alright. Now Mr. Tractor's about to stall because of the choke. Let's choke him a little bit. Also fluid pressure. And we stalled him just in the nick of time. Okay, so he's started back up again. So here we have our snowplow. We have an electric controlled hoist, which uses hydraulic pressure too. So let's raise. We're going to raise and lower the plow using that side, and we're going to angle left and right using this little control arm. Alright, so we're going to go up. There's the maximum. We're going to angle left. And then we're going to angle right. Now this rotation happens because of hydraulics, which uses fluid pressure. Let me hop down from here and not hurt myself in the process. Okay. Notice these little arms. These are hydraulic pumps. Fluid pistons inside here. Has a pressure from this hose. Now, we said that fluids are virtually incompressible, correct? So, whenever the engine or whatever forcing mechanism that's used, electric motor for example, is used to force pressure through these pistons, these arms right here are forced full of air or whatever forcing mechanism that it uses, and this arm is propelled forward in the direction that you control it. Interested in some entertainment? Okay. See, anything else I want to say about this? Well, maybe take note of the rotating mechanism in here. That's about it. Kind of hard to see, and I'll see if I can find some diagrams to explain this. Alright. I know everybody's dying to see Mr. McCullum on a tractor. Now as we engage the clutch, and raise the platform, that's all for today. Maybe join me next time for another fun movie on tractor physics.